This Meditainment production is brought to you today by the Samurai Aquatics and Decor Metaventure. Scan that QR code or click that link in the description and dive yourself headfirst into the Samurai Aquatics Discord server to pleasure your peepers on our current and future range of outdoor decor.
The Whine and Cheese show is a Metaverse and NFT discussion and interview series brought to you by Metaverse Ventures Entertainment and host BEN68 and Morecheese. Warning: the information and opinions within are solely the views of the individuals involved and contains content not suitable for anyone.
One is a wanker, one's slinging stunts, one's from Australia, one's from the Bronx.
Snack size.
All right, straight up. When I woke up this morning in my blurry state, when the stupid AM alarm went off, I saw this headline pop up in Upland: rewards balancing, and I went, "Oh, surely they're not. Surely they haven't." Because we were just
They
talking
have,
in the
and don't call me Shirley. Sorry, I had to do the joke. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Liam Nielsen.
Thank you, Shirley. Just before I went to bed, we were kind of having a debate about the dividends rate in the Upland general chat. You know, is it rental income? Is it dividends? I know some people are calling it their rental income. I'm like, who are you renting it to? I don't know. But anyway, so I thought when I read rewards balancing, I thought, oh, don't tell me they'd bump that rate down again. But apparently not. So everything I read in this, I was loving it. So rewards balancing, KYC updates, minting cooldowns. Well, maybe not the minting cooldowns. I'm not a massive fan of that, but I get the point. And property sniping. Blah, 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 blah. The biggest points here are KYC changes for treasure hunts and other activities. So anything to do with the competitive treasure hunts, anything to do with Spark rewards, it's all going to require KYC, which I think that's a very good move. I know there's people in the community like Russell Envy have been pushing hardcore for this sort of stuff to kick in. So I don't know. I'm loving that.
KYC when I started, pal. Back when I started, when it wasn't cool to be KYC.
So what did they do? They let everybody run amok? Who is that?
I have no idea. I thought the door was closed in here. I'm sorry, guys. No, it's not professional.
Yeah, no, KYC was definitely not a thing. And coming from a crypto background, I wasn't really a fan of it myself, but it is what it is. And I think most people know by now, I won one of the first spots in the feed out better, and I gave it away. That's how much I didn't want to be involved with KYC. So yeah, KYC for Spark activities, anything to do with the competitive stuff, as we said, that's cool. KYC for UpX activities. So this was a bit of a strange one, but the main one here is competitive treasure hunts. So basically it's the same thing, treasure hunts. What does it say here? This means that competitive treasure hunts in a tier 5 city won't require KYC because there are no exclusive or rare hunts. These activities will be locked in the app for those without KYC verification. Okay, so if you're a miner or you're a, I don't know, why wouldn't you KYC? Why else would you? Multi-accounter, yeah. Then there are still options for you, but that you're just going to be severely limited.
All right, I'm a bit slow. I'm going to admit this. Sometimes I have to read things over and over again. I'm a visual person. But so in order to compete in these rare and exclusive treasure hunts, you have to KYC.
Yes.
I love it. That's what people have been asking for ages.
Yep. Yeah, Russell Envy, I know, because I do a bit, well, not a bit, but I see him all the time on Twitter, and he's been going hardcore about this. So yeah, it's cool to see them following up.
Yeah.
And following on for that, KYC for director block explorers. So this is good because we've had people just multi-accounting, moving funds around, and then selling their block explorers and this, that, and the other thing. So yeah, I'm all about that. That's cool.
Nice
treasure hunt
job,
balancing. Yes, competitive treasure hunts tier cooldown. Now this is another thing we've been requesting. After collecting rewards for a competitive treasure hunt, players will experience a cooldown period. During this time, the guided arrows will be hitting. Yeah, we've already got that. This change discourages multi-accounting and promotes a healthier blah, blah, blah. Cooldown periods will differ depending on the treasure hunt rarity. This is where the difference is. meaning that players who collect a rare treasure will still be eligible to claim exclusive and limited. Ah, I see. What we have been asking is for them to put a cooldown in, like a 12-hour cooldown period or something like that. But I guess this makes more sense. Once you've won a rare, then it's going to be you can't go for another rare for a certain amount of time, but they're still working out the details. So
All
that's
right.
cool. Now, this is something that has got a few people's noses out of joints. Or maybe it's not this one. Maybe it's the next one. In addition to cooldowns for competitive treasure hunts, we are aiming to reduce the number of cities. Okay, so they're going to switching the competitive treasure hunts to that kind of recurring rush theme. They want people to be moving around. So I don't really do that. Do you get into that? Cheese, do you do that?
No.
UP, do you do that?
I do the standards. I don't really get into.
Yeah, I do the standards.
Yes.
There's
Well, that brings us to the meat and potatoes that's got people's noses out of joint. So cost multipliers for standard treasure hunts. We know that you get a free standard treasure hunt every day. And I think doesn't it depend on the city tier? You could pay 100 Apex or something, and then you could keep spawning indefinitely till you run out of cents. Well, not anymore.
Uh-oh. Wait, they're changing standards? What?
Yes. So you will still get your free spawn one. You'll be able to do your free spawn one, and then you'll be able to pay for the next one. But every one that you do after that, the cost to spawn the next one is going to go up and up.
Why are they doing this to standards?
Why?
Because are they doing this to standards? I can go like, wow.
They're kind of forcing people to get out of their mum's basement and have a life.
Ben, that's not funny.
Yes.
This is all right. So now I get the anger. Because standards don't give you all that spark that the other people get. Like, I'm lucky if I get 0.06 at the end of the week now, because I feel like they changed it and now it's a lot more difficult. This just makes it harder for new players to try out standard treasure hunting.
Players like me that aren't great, that bought a large map in San Fran.
Exactly.
Yep. I haven't had a spark chest in at least a month. I've been doing like maybe 10 a day, something like that, and I just haven't even seen a
10 a
spark
day,
chest,
that's cute.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Some people
That's
are doing like 80 hunts or something a day, every single day. I'm like, geez, get a life, people.
I used to spend my son, so I'm one of those guys.
Yeah, well, so yes, that's what people have got their nose a bit out of joint. So we don't know if it's going to be a 5 Apex. Maybe it goes 5. Who knows? We don't know.
You're okay with it?
I am for this instance. Well, we're going to need balancing either way, but I'm looking at it from this aspect.
All right.
It might take people that are winning all the time and let them play. They might play a little less if they're spending more on.
But standards, like I can't.
I'm sorry, not standards,
because this is only for standards.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
For spawning the standards, yeah. Every time you spawn a new standard, it's going to cost you more.
It's not a it's not a big deal for me.
You're taking food out of my dog's mouth.
I know that I'm one of those annoying people with a San Francisco map.
I have because I stink.
Well, it is a pay to play game. That's people just got to get their mind around that. I think
that's true. That is true.
I know, but like, why pick on standards when other things need like it's like you're fixing one thing and then destroying another. All right.
I'm putting on my tinfoil hat.
All right.
We know that the last couple of spark sales, the spark just sits there. Nobody's buying the low level spark. Is this a way to kind of encourage people to buy some?
Yeah, but for standards, it's like it's so hard to get a spark on standards. Like for me, it's just a way to kind of have fun in between waiting for stuff.
All right, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. I like the idea of this. It's going to suck, but it's going to be good at the same time. So
no, I love this. Let's read about it. In addition,
I didn't at first, but I'm coming on board.
Yeah, like I think it's going to change the way everything. Let's see. In addition, the above changes, we are soon planning to implement a cooldown for minting properties. This means that each player will need to wait a fixed period before making their next purchase. This cooldown is not intended to interrupt typical gameplay, but should go a long way in preventing malicious activity. To start, we plan to implement a 10-second cooldown between each property mint. This value may or may not be adjusted as we measure the performance of this change. Now, can multiple tabbing kind of outsmart this cooldown?
I guess
Good question.
that's the point. Yeah. If you've got multiple tabs open, it's still only tied to the one account. So I would assume that the 10-second cooldown would apply.
Because that's
but-
what they do now to
Yeah.
grab multiple
Absolutely.
properties right next to
Yep.
each other.
And whether they click on it, because I know this is what happens, like they can essentially reserve a whole bunch of properties because they click on it, but they don't complete the purchase until they go back and finish it off. So does this bring up a thing where like you click on it to mint and it brings up, hang on, this property's in cooldown, but does that essentially still reserve the property? Who knows? I guess we'll have to
We'll
wait
have
and
to
see in
see.
the next city release.
Yeah.
I like the 10 seconds. I think that's good. If they went to 30 seconds, that's probably too far.
Yeah.
10 seconds still gives you room to play with it. So yeah, I like it. 10 seconds.
I like
is
this,
not
but
a
devil's
huge-
advocate.
Mm.
That like what's stopping them from creating multiple accounts then to switch back and forth from?
Yeah, well.
And then funnel the properties to the one at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But then I guess that's easier to kind of catch, like if that happens, it's easier to catch people multi-accounting. I'm
Yes,
sure
well,
they've been all of this, it seems like they've been working on this for a while. People
Yeah.
said that they're like, oh, no one's doing anything, but this seems like they have been hunkered down and trying to figure this out. No one's gonna like everything 100%. I'm excited to see where this goes. I'm a little disappointed in the standard, but I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be people who come into the game and look for ways that they can exploit the system. Hell, that was
Yeah.
me when I started. That was exactly what I did. I was like, what can I do within the gameplay? What can I get away with here? So yeah, KYC is a good step in the right direction, but you know, it's pretty easy. Like I know back from the crypto ICO days, it's pretty easy to get your siblings and your mum and dad to KYC for you to be involved in these other
Uncle,
projects.
cat.
So it's always
Cactus plant.
yeah, but it's good. It at least shows they're listening to the community and they're trying different things. So
Well, let me ask, Upland Puppet, does any of your alter egos have?
I mean, I thought you guys had me on the show for me, but I could ask. I'll be right back.
All right.
Yeah, they want it. They don't care about it. Yeah, they
Hello. Hi.
Hello? Hey,
Do you have an Upland account?
I can't get KYC. I tried to get a license. They kicked me out.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's good, guys? How's it going, Morecheeese? Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you too. Oh my God, you're so adorable.
Thank you. Thank you. I know. I mean, thank you. Wow, I never get to go on your camera. Always that guy.
What do you think about this article?
About the article? Well, I got no fingers, so I can't play the game. No, I'm kidding. I think it's good. Chase the rats out, Cheese. You know what I'm saying. Get rid of the rats.
Get rid of the rats.
Get rid of the rats.
Oh yeah, by KYCing, yeah, get rid of the
Yeah.
rats.
Yeah, rats can't KYC.
I thought you were saying get rid of the rats because they like cheese.
No, that's what I'm saying. Why, what do you KYC? It's my favorite cheese place. I go there all the time. Is this thing on? What the heck is it? Okay. Sorry.
I told you this is going to be a fun one. That's
This
cool.
is gonna be a fun one. I love it. I love it.
No, guys, I'm sorry.
Anytime, Mighty D, we appreciate your inputs. And what do we got? I think there's one more thing, property sniping prevention. This is a good one too. So lastly, in an effort to mitigate property snipes, they will be implementing capture for properties initially listed on the secondary market. So that means for 24 hours after listing a property, any attempted purchase will require the completion of capture. So yeah, if you accidentally fat finger the numbers on the sale button, rather than it just being gobbled up in seconds, maybe you'll have 5 seconds. Well, we know bots have a way to get around captures, so it's not a cure-all, but it's a step in the right direction.
It might be a cure-all, because if you have a bot that will get past that, and I'm sure they're going to see how many seconds it took, maybe it's a good way to catch people who are using malicious software as well. I have to say, I'm very impressed with this. Like, I know in the UDU podcast I was kind of like, bad Upland, but this time I'm gonna say good Upland, and this is extremely impressive and well done.
Miles is pretty proud of himself. He's giving
Miles.
himself a ribbon. So yeah,
It
sorry,
feels to me like they're setting some traps.
Yes,
For my,
exactly.
that.
Yes, I like it too. I want to see people like squirming in a foot clamp and blood splurting out, and they have nowhere to go. And they're like trying to crawl away, and you're like, you can't go anywhere. Your foot's there unless you eat it off. But then there's the bone. How are you going to get past the bone? We'll find out.
Your army of rats.
You have to have a spoon to kind of like.
Oh my gosh, we've gone from puppets to.
That lets me do it. I don't know. He never.
Ben, I was
stops
thinking
me.
of Rat King when you said that too. Remember
Yes,
from didn't he run an army of rats?
Yeah.
If you have an
Shouldn't
army
we
of
do?
rats, that will definitely help your foot.
Yes.
The
Nibble
bone.
nibble.
Need a rat puppet.
A rat posse.
I see.
Empire samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the ride. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Evil Empire samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky. Evil Empire samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Cheese in the house, get off the ride. Hit you with the hairbrush, hit you with the knife. Evil Empire samurai, ride on the dingo, flying through the sky. Hit you with the knife, flying through the sky.